Hello everyone. Previous video we seen the GSM architecture, what is GSM and what is the MSRN number, IMSI number, and that all will be the seen. This is the previous lecture and details. And now we moving towards the after MSRN number. Some I will after MSRN number. The next slide, that is the related to location area identity. That is the location area identity has its own identifier. It has an own identifier. The location area ID, it has an the equipment for the SIM card and the user, but we also have some identifiers for the location. It is unstructured and internationally unique, so that we point out the exactly location of user in network. The location area ID, which is called as LAI, is structured, that is the internationally unique, and LAI consists internationally standardized part of and operated dependent part. It also having some country code, 3 decimal places, for mobile network code, 2 decimal places, and location area code, that is a 5 maxi decimal places. So this breakup is a matter of detail, what is important to understand internationally and globally. We can have, sorry, we can have an LAI which can uniquely point to which location area you are visiting. And this will be related to the some LAI. Some GSM technical specifications define the some different entities that from the some GSM networks by defining their functions and interface requirements. Then GSM network can be divided into four main parts. And what are these? That main parts will be given here. Already we seen in previous video. The mobile station, the base station subsystem, the network and switching subsystem operation, and the operation and support subsystem, that is the OSS. The please note that is we are talking about the some entire network, and when we are talking about the parts of the network, the mobile station figures there it's the part of the network. It helps some, as well as we have to manage part of the network as the mobile station are becoming more and more. And this architecture already we seen in previous video also. You check the in my YouTube channel also. Already we seen the network subsystem, base station subsystem, some OSS networks, and some PSTN and ISDN related. It helps some managing all the subsystem parts. So there is a bird's eye view of GSM network architecture. So you have the base station subsystem, and then there is a mobile station which is connected to the SIM, which is connected to the SIM subscriber identity. Then you have the base trans receiver station, that is the BTS, that is the base station controller. Here the network management system has the home location register, that is the HLR. It's where your service was originally registered at the VLR, that is the visited location register, and it is again giving some information to the mobile switching center, that is the MSC. This is connected to ESTN and the ISTN and other networks. This is given here. And how GSM network architecture looks, that already talked about the in previous video about the mobile stations also. The mobile station consists of two main elements. Mobile station consists of two main elements: the equipment and the SIM, that is the subscriber identity module. We need both of them to make it work. The terminal of the mobile station, there are different types of terminal distinguished. There are different types of terminal. Here we distinguish it in details. Principally by their power and application. So we have the fixed terminal. These are kind of absolute now. They could radiate up to 20 watts. Not good, you had to be fixed a car and your battery will be run out in no time. The GSM portable terminals output power is 8 watt, and it is the handheld terminals. These weights are decreasing drastically. The size and weight of the handsets are going down every day, and then these terminals emit up to 2 watt peak power, and maximum allowed power can go down up to the point 8 watt. And what is important note here is the GSM gives provisional for all these kinds of terminals. It's that we are using these handheld terminals more frequently and more popularly. The other part of the mobile station is the SIM. SIM is the smart card that identifies the terminal. So by the inserting the SIM card into the terminal, the user can have access to all the subscriber services. Clearly, without the SIM card, the terminal will not work, and the SIM card is protected by 4-digit personal identification number, that is the PIN, that is the personal PIN number, otherwise personal identification number. Now, in order to identify the subscriber to the system, the SIM card contains some different parameters of the user such as IMSI and other advantages of SIM is the mobility of the users. In fact, the only element that personalizes a terminal is the SIM card. So you can take your SIM card and move around insert it into any other terminal and start talking, insert it to any other terminal and you start talking. Therefore, a user can have access to its subscribed services in any terminal using the some different terminals as well as different SIM cards. Today, there is a more and more intelligence is being built in the SIM card. It has its own memory. It has its security features. So SIM card is becoming more and more important because it is fully loaded today with a lot of features. The SIM achieves some separation of the user mobility from the equipment mobility. Please note there are two different things. There's the moment the ability to sit in the car with the handset and move around while talking is the equipment mobility. But you can leave the equipment home but take the SIM with you and go to the office and insert it in another equipment and start talking. That is the user mobility. And this enables international roaming independent of the mobile equipment and the network technology. And all cryptographic algorithms for authentication and data encryption can be realized in the SIM, and so the newer versions of SIM can claim that your data will be more secure because next generation and cryptography algorithms will be embedded in the SIM. Also, SIM also having some short messages. It will be stored, charging informations, some list of important phone numbers. It will be useful for the fast dialing and several other things basically equipped with some memories. Now we having some discussion oriented the mobile station and subsystem. That will be talks related to the bases, that is the base station subsystem. The base station subsystem connects the mobile station and NSS, that is the network subsystem. It is in the charge of transmission and reception. The base station can again be divided into sub parts, that is base transceiver station. It is also called as a base station. We usually don't say the complete thing, we say it's base station instead of saying the whole word base transceiver station. Directly we call the base station instead of BTS. Together they form the base station subsystem. First, talk about the some base transceiver station. The BTS, it is the base station corresponds to the transceiver and antennas used in each cell of the network. The base station is usually placed in the center of the cell. In previous lectures, we already seen that is the not only way to deploy it. It can all be at corner of cells, or we can subdivided a cell, split the cells and put smaller base stations within the cell. Its transmitting power defines the size of the cell, but we have also seen the other factor which can decide how big the cell and number of users and link budget and some interference. Each base station has between 1 to 16 trans receives depending upon the density of users in the cell. Now we talk about the base station controller or BSC. The BSC controls the group of BTS and manages of their radio resources. If you have seen the diagram already shown in previous lecture, so base station controller is principally in charge of handovers, frequency hopping, exchange functions, and control the some radio frequency as well as power level of base station. So it is the doing all the smartness is primarily located in BSC, and it will be also some takes the decisions. Now we move toward the network and switching subsystem, that is the NSS. Its main role is to manage the some communication between the mobile users and other users such as mobile users, ISDN users, fixed telephony, and etc. It also includes databases needed in order to store information about the subscriber and to manage their mobility. Previously, we already talked about the home location register in diagram also. There are nothing but memory spaces wherein the keeping the information about the mobile. The different components of the NSS are described in diagram. We will see already. Now come to the MSC, that is the mobile switching center. It is the main part of architecture. It is the central component part of network subsystem. The mobile switching center platform as well as it performs switching functions of the network. It also provides connections to other networks, primarily the PSTN or the public switch telephone network. And this is the second part of GSM. Today we see the MSC, NSS, base station controller, base transceiver system, the types of BSS, SIM, and that is all over about the related to details of the today's contents. This is the next second part of GSM and CDMA. We'll stop here. We will check the next part in next GSM and CDMA part in next lecture.